A Nightmare on Elm Street, a new story.
Chapter 1: The Waking Nightmare. It was a hot summer night in Springwood, and the streets were deserted as everyone sought refuge in the comfort of air conditioning. The only sound was the occasional hum of a passing car, until a piercing scream shattered the silence. The scream came from a modest two-story house on Elm Street, where a teenage girl named Allison had just woken up from a terrifying nightmare. Allison sat up in her bed, panting and covered in sweat. She tried to shake off the dream, but it lingered in her mind like a fog. She had dreamed of a man with a burned face and a clawed glove, who had chased her through an old boiler room. She had felt his cold breath on her neck and the sharp claws on her skin, and she had known, even in her dream, that he meant to kill her. Allison rubbed her eyes and looked around her room. Everything seemed normal, but she couldn't shake off the feeling of dread. She got out of bed and walked to the window, hoping to catch a breath of fresh air. As she opened the window, she noticed a strange smell in the air, like burnt flesh. She wrinkled her nose and leaned out to look at the street below. That's when she saw him. A man in a fedora and a trench coat, standing in the shadows across the street. Allison's heart skipped a beat as she recognized him from her dream. She tried to look away, but his eyes met hers, and she felt a chill run down her spine. The man smiled, revealing a row of razor-sharp teeth, and raised his clawed glove in a menacing gesture. Allison screamed and slammed the window shut. She backed away from it, her mind racing with fear and confusion. Was this another dream, or was it real? She heard a creaking sound from her closet and turned to see the door slowly opening. That's when she saw him. A man in a fedora and a trench coat, standing in the shadows across the street. Allison's heart skipped a beat as she recognized him from her dream. She tried to look away, but his eyes met hers, and she felt a chill run down her spine. The man smiled, revealing a row of razor-sharp teeth, and raised his clawed glove in a menacing gesture. Allison screamed and slammed the window shut. She backed away from it, her mind racing with fear and confusion. Was this another dream, or was it real? She heard a creaking sound from her closet and turned to see the door slowly opening. From the darkness of the closet emerged a figure clad in black, with a red and green striped sweater and a fedora. It was the same man from her dream, but now he was solid and real. Allison backed away, but she tripped and fell onto her bed. The man leaped onto the bed and straddled her, pressing his clawed glove against her neck. "You're mine now, Allison," he whispered in a raspy voice. "You belong to me." Allison struggled and screamed, but the man was too strong. She felt the sharp claws digging into her flesh, drawing blood. She knew she was going to die. But then, something strange happened. The man's face began to melt and warp, like wax in a fire. His clothes caught fire, and he screamed in agony. Allison seized the opportunity and pushed him away, scrambling to her feet. She watched in horror as the man burned to ashes, leaving nothing but a smoking pile on her bed. Allison stumbled to the door and ran out of the room, her heart pounding. She heard her parents' voices from downstairs, and she ran towards them, hoping to find safety and comfort. But as she reached the top of the stairs, she felt a hand on her shoulder, and she turned to see the man standing behind her, his burned face contorted in a grotesque smile. "Welcome to your nightmare, Allison," he said, and pushed her down the stairs. Allison tumbled down the stairs, hitting her head on the railing. She felt a sharp pain in her neck, and then everything went black. To be continued.